At 91 years old, Sophia Loren has spent a lifetime being admired, studied, and mythologized. She is a symbol of timeless beauty, strength, and cinematic genius, a woman whose life story reads like a screenplay. Yet, despite decades in the spotlight, there have been moments she rarely discussed, relationships that were private, complex, and quietly meaningful. Now, in the calm of her later years, Loren has chosen to speak openly about one of those chapters, her relationship with George Peppard. It is not a scandalous revelation, but a human one. A story of two brilliant people whose lives intersected briefly and intensely, before diverging under the pressure of fame and personal demons. Loren's words offer insight not only into Peppard, but also into the emotional costs of living under Hollywood's relentless glare. From war-torn Italy to a dream of escape, Sophia Loren was born Sophia Villani Ciccolone on September 20, 1934, in Rome, Italy, and raised in the poverty-stricken town of Pozzuoli, near Naples. Her childhood was shaped by the harsh realities of World War II, air raids, hunger, and constant fear. Yet even in those bleak years, Loren's resilience and beauty stood out. She dreamed of a future far beyond the ruins of post-war Italy, imagining a life where she could rise above scarcity and hardship. Her determination would become the foundation of her future success. At 15, she entered a local beauty contest, a decision that changed her life forever. Film producer Carlo Ponti noticed her immediately. Not only her physical beauty, but also her intelligence, warmth, and undeniable presence. Under his guidance, Loren began her transformation from a shy girl into a confident and mesmerizing actress. A love that challenged society. Sophia Loren's relationship with Carlo Ponti is one of cinema's most legendary love stories, marked by devotion, controversy, and perseverance. When Loren met Ponti in 1950, she was only 15, and he was already an established film producer. Their bond quickly grew beyond mentorship into deep romance, but it was not without obstacles. Ponti was still legally married, and Italy's strict divorce laws made their union impossible in the eyes of the law. In 1957, they married by proxy in Mexico, a ceremony that was not recognized in Italy and caused scandal. In 1962, the marriage was annulled to avoid bigamy charges, yet their love endured. In 1966, Ponti obtained French citizenship, allowing him to divorce and legally marry Loren in Paris. Their marriage lasted until Ponti's death in 2007, lasting more than 40 years, an extraordinary achievement in an industry where love often fades under pressure. A meteoric rise to international fame. Loren's rise to stardom in the 1950s was swift and undeniable. She starred in Italian films like Ada, 1953, and The Gold of Naples, 1954, captivating audiences with her raw talent and emotional depth. Unlike many actresses of her time, Loren's beauty was never superficial. She brought intelligence, vulnerability, and strength to every role. Her ability to express profound emotion through subtle gestures and her expressive eyes set her apart from her contemporaries. When she transitioned to Hollywood, she became an international sensation, sharing the screen with legends such as Cary Grant, Frank Sinatra, Clark Gable, and Marcello Mastroianni. Her performances blended glamour with authenticity, and she became the embodiment of Italian elegance on the global stage. The Oscar that changed everything. In 1961, Sophia Loren achieved a milestone that reshaped the history of cinema. Her performance in Two Women earned her the Academy Award for Best Actress, making her the first actor to win an Oscar for a performance in a foreign-language film. The role of a mother struggling to protect her daughter during wartime was raw, intense, and heartbreaking. Loren's portrayal was not just acting, it was a revelation. She brought the pain of war, the strength of motherhood, and the courage of survival to life with astonishing realism. The performance transcended language and culture, proving that true artistry can speak directly to the human heart. This achievement solidified her status as one of the most respected actresses in the world and marked her as a symbol of cinematic excellence. A dominant force in the 1960s and 1970s. Throughout the 1960s and 1970s, Sophia Loren remained a dominant force in both European and American cinema. She brought elegance, humor, and sensuality to films like Marriage Italian Style, Yesterday, Today, and Tomorrow, Arabesque, and The Millionairess. Her collaborations with Marcello Mastroianni became legendary, creating on-screen chemistry that felt genuine and timeless. Loren's presence was magnetic. She carried herself with dignity and strength, never allowing fame to compromise her authenticity. Her performances continued to evolve, reflecting her maturity as an artist and as a woman. She proved that beauty does not fade with age, and that emotional depth grows stronger with time. Even as the decades passed, Loren continued to inspire new generations, reminding the world that true talent never loses its shine. Later years, strength in vulnerability. As years passed, Sophia Loren's artistic passion never diminished. She continued to perform, choosing roles that reflected her wisdom and emotional depth. Her later films, including 9, 2009, and The Life Ahead, 2020, demonstrated her enduring power as an actress. In The Life Ahead, directed by her son Eduardo Ponti, Loren played Madame Rosa, a Holocaust survivor caring for orphaned children. The role highlighted her lifelong ability to portray strength through vulnerability, showing a woman who carries pain yet remains compassionate. Her performance was a reminder that age does not diminish the human spirit. Instead, it deepens it. Loren's later work became a testament to her lasting artistry, proving that she remains a force of nature even in her 9th decade. A scary fall and a fragile reminder. On September 24, 2023, the world watched with concern as news broke that Sophia Loren had suffered a serious fall at her home in Switzerland. The beloved icon was rushed to the hospital after sustaining multiple fractures to her hip and femur, injuries that are especially dangerous at her age. The accident was described as deeply worrying by close sources, and within hours she underwent emergency surgery. The incident served as a stark reminder that even legends are not immune to fragility. Yet even in vulnerability, Loren's strength shone through. Her recovery became a symbol of resilience, echoing the same courage she displayed throughout her life. Fans around the world were reminded that her legacy is not only her beauty or talent, but her unbreakable spirit. George Peppard, the man she rarely spoke of. At 91, Sophia Loren finally opened up about George Peppard, a name she has seldom spoken about publicly. Peppard was a handsome, talented actor, known for Breakfast at Tiffany's and later The A-Team. Yet his career was often overshadowed by his intense personality and inner struggles. Loren described him as a mystery, handsome and charming, yet guarded and troubled. She first met him in the early 1960s at a dinner in Los Angeles, when both were at the height of their careers. She recalls him as quiet and distant at first, but his voice carried authority and depth. She sensed immediately that he was a man who had fought hard to be taken seriously. Their connection was marked by respect and tension, a blend of admiration and emotional complexity. A brief, intense connection. Loren's relationship with Peppard was brief but meaningful. Their romance was not a scandal or a dramatic affair. It was a moment of connection between two people who understood the cost of fame. Peppard's perfectionism and refusal to compromise made him difficult to know deeply. He wanted to be respected as an artist, not just admired for his looks. Loren admired that, yet she also recognized how it isolated him. She described him as someone who pushed people away, not because he didn't care, but because he was always fighting an inner battle. She remembers him as a man who desired truth in everything, even when truth was painful. Their relationship faded, not due to betrayal or conflict, but because their lives moved in different directions. Both were moving forward, Loren toward greater stardom, and Peppard toward a path that would eventually become more difficult. Conclusion: a truth told with compassion. Sophia Loren's reflections on George Peppard reveal not only a forgotten romance, but a deep understanding of human complexity. She speaks of him with tenderness and respect, recognizing the brilliance that made him magnetic and the pain that made him fragile. Her words are not meant to judge, but to honor a man who wanted to be seen for who he truly was. Loren's story with Peppard is a reminder that fame can be both a blessing and a burden, and that behind every iconic face is a human heart seeking love and understanding. At 91, Loren is free to speak her truth, and in doing so, she offers the world a rare glimpse into the quiet, private side of a legend, one who loved, understood, and forgave.